the leader of a country. Just 4 days after getting appointed. Never showed his face on camera, no video, no audio, just a written message read by a TV anchor. And then America did something that has never happened before in world history. They put a $10 million reward on a sitting supreme leader, a leader who just took power days ago, $10 million, just to find out where he is. Think about what that means. The most powerful military in the world does not know where their enemy is, does not know if he is alive, does not know what condition he is in. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 3 things that nobody has connected together yet. First, what is the real condition of Mojtaba Khamenei right now, for different sources, for completely different stories. Second, why America put this reward, and why this is actually their own intelligence failure. Third, how all of this is directly hitting your petrol price, your household budget, and the economy of countries like Pakistan and India right now. Today, stay till the end because there is one number I will share at the end of this video that will not let you sleep tonight. Let's go straight to the point. February 28, 2026, nighttime, Tehran, America and Israel launched a joint military operation. The name of this operation was Operation Epic Fury. In one single night, they hit Iran's nuclear sites, military bases, and one more target, the compound of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. And Ali Khamenei, who had been Iran's biggest leader for 37 years since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, was killed. But he was not the only one. In that same strike, Ali Khamenei's wife was killed. Family members were killed, and his son Mojtaba Khamenei was present in that compound when the strike hit. Stop 1 second. The house where the father died, the mother died, family members died. That's unsurvived. And just 9 days later, that same son was declared the new supreme leader of Iran, March 9th. Iran's assembly of experts, a board of 88 religious scholars, voted unanimously. Mojtaba Khamenei, new supreme leader. But there was a problem here that most media did not properly cover. The building where this assembly was meeting in the city of Qom had already been hit by an airstrike. How many of those 88 members were actually alive at that point? Nobody has a clear answer. So the succession process itself is a big question mark. Now, who is Mojtaba Khamenei? He is 56 years old, trained as a cleric in Qom, never held any public office, never gave a single official interview. Very few photos of him exist in public. He also fought in the Iran-Iraq War. But insiders say he is very close to the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. His name came up in the 2009 contested elections for interference. And in 2019, remember this, America put sanctions on him. Analysts say he is actually more hardline than his own father. Now let's come to the biggest mystery of this story, the timeline. Pay close attention. February 28th, father killed. Mojtaba was present in that compound when the strike happened. March 9th, assembly of experts made him supreme leader. March 10th, Iranian state media confirmed he was injured. No details. March 11th, the world is asking, where is he? No video, no photo. March 12th, his first official statement came out, but Mojtaba himself did not appear. A TV anchor read his written message on screen. His still photo was in the background. March 13th, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth spoke at a Pentagon briefing and said this, quote, "We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement, a weak one, but there was no voice and no video. It was a written statement. Iran has plenty of cameras and voice recorders, so why only a written statement?" I think you know why. That same day, March 13th, America announced the $10 million reward. This is not a coincidence. This is a calculated psychological war. But before I explain that, the biggest question right now is this: what is the real condition of Mojtaba Khamenei? There are 4 different versions for different sources, and they completely contradict each other. Version 1, CNN, the most credible verified source. CNN reported through a source Mojtaba had a fractured foot, a bruise near his left eye, minor cuts on his face, injured but functioning. If this is true, he could physically speak. He could appear on video. So why didn't he? Version 2, Iran's own ambassador. Iran's ambassador to Cyprus, Alireza Salarian, gave an interview to The Guardian. He said, "I have heard that his hands and feet were injured. I believe he is in hospital." Think about this. Iran's own official cannot confirm the condition of their own leader. He is depending on "I have heard." This is a very significant admission. Version 3, The Sun, unverified, but the most explosive claim. The Sun reported through an anonymous source connected to an Iranian dissident network in London that one or both legs may have been amputated, liver or stomach rupture, and reportedly in a coma. This source also claims Mojtaba is in the ICU of Sinai University Hospital in Tehran. An entire section of the building has been sealed, heavy security around it. This is unverified. I am not telling you this is true. I am telling you this claim exists. Version for Trump himself. A journalist asked Trump directly, "Is Mojtaba alive?" Trump said, "I think he probably is. I think he's damaged, but I think he's probably alive in some form. Yeah, probably alive in some form." That is the answer from the president of the country with the world's largest intelligence network. America does not know for certain if their enemy is alive, and that is exactly why there is a $10 million reward. March 13, 2026. U.S. State Department's Rewards for Justice program. This program is not new. America has put rewards on terrorists before. They put a reward on Osama bin Laden, but this was the first time in history a reward was officially placed on a currently ruling, officially appointed Supreme Leader. The poster had 10 names at the top: Mojtaba Khamenei, below him senior officials from his office, IRGC commanders, the intelligence minister, the interior minister, the reward up to $10 million, plus an offer of relocation to America. How to submit tips. Through encrypted messages on Signal, or through a private portal on the Tor network. The message was clear: give us information about these people, their location, their activities, their condition, and you will be paid. Now here is the most important analysis. Half an hour after this poster was released, something happened. Ali Khamenei, who was on that list, was seen on verified Reuters video in Tehran, standing publicly at a rally with the president and foreign minister. America listed him as someone in hiding, and he was standing at a public event. Experts quoted by Republic World said this reward is actually an admission of America's own intelligence gap. When you don't know where your target is, you ask the public. Iran called it a political attack, but notice Iran did not directly counter it. No press conference about Mojtaba's condition, no live video of him. One side is asking where is he? The other side is not answering. Both sides have something to hide. Now let's talk about Mojtaba's first statement. Line by line, March 12th, Iran State TV. A news anchor sits in front of the camera, reading from a paper. No leader, no video, no audio clip. This was the first public statement from Iran's new Supreme Leader. Line 1, we will not forget the blood of the martyrs. Every death will be avenged. This message was for his own people, his army, and the resistance front, to maintain morale, because after his father's death, there is real uncertainty inside Iran. Line 2, the lever of keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed must continue to be used. If needed, new fronts should be opened where the enemy has less experience. This is the most important line. He is saying keep the strait closed. New fronts, this is a threat that extends beyond Iran's direct fight. This is escalation language, not de-escalation. Line 3, U.S. bases in the region must close. Otherwise, attacks will continue. There are U.S. bases in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar. All of these have already been receiving drone attacks. Line 4, the resistance front, Hamas, Houthis, Iraqi groups, they are part of the values of the Islamic Revolution. Proxy war is not stopping, it is continuing. But here is what was not in this statement, and what was absent matters more than what was said. No mention of peace talks, no mention of a ceasefire, no mention of diplomacy. A leader who is himself injured, whose father was killed, whose mother was killed, whose family was killed. He is not talking about negotiation. And that is the answer to the oil price question. Now the concrete numbers, your money, your future. The Strait of Hormuz is a 21-mile wide passage of water between Iran and Oman. 20% of the world's oil passes through it every single day. If it closes, 1/5 of the world's oil supply stops in one day. Oil price is the timeline. Before the war on February 28th, Brent crude was around $70 per barrel. March 2nd, Brent hit $80 to $82, a 13% spike in just 2 days. March 9th, Brent briefly touched $119.50 intraday. March 13th, Brent is above $100 per barrel. That is a 43% increase in just 13 days. The IRG has openly threatened if this continues, expect oil at $200 per barrel. Oxford Economics modeled this. If oil averages $140 for 2 months, Japan, the Eurozone, and the UK go into recession. America faces an economic standstill. Now India and Pakistan directly. India is the world's second largest oil importer after Japan. More than 80% of India's crude oil comes from the Middle East. On March 13th, 2 Indian gas carriers and a Saudi tanker carrying 1 million barrels for India-Iran let them pass through the strait. For now is a temporary phrase. Pakistan's situation is more serious. The government has announced schools closed. Government offices will run only 4 days a week to conserve fuel. That is a crisis-level response. The International Energy Agency, 32 member countries unanimously decided on March 11th to release 400 million barrels from strategic reserves. Analysts say that is only 20 days of backup if the strait stays fully blocked. U.S. military cost. According to foreign policy analysis, in the first 36 hours of Operation Epic Fury alone, America used 1,250 missiles and munitions. In just the first 2 days, $5.6 billion in weapons were used. This war is now 13 days old. Over 15,000 Iranian targets have been struck. More than 1,444 people killed, according to Iran's own health ministry figures. I'm going to speak to you directly. This war is not just Iran versus America. This is why schools are closed in Pakistan. This is why petrol prices are rising in India. This is why the world is facing a recession risk. And at the center of all of this is a 56-year-old man whose condition the world's biggest military does not know for certain, who may be injured, who may be in a hospital, who has not appeared on camera once since being made Supreme Leader. Now 3 scenarios based on what analysts and defense experts are saying right now. Scenario: a quick end, the optimistic case. Iran internally collapses. Mojtaba, if severely injured, cannot give effective command. The IRG may split. A deal to reopen the strait happens. Oil prices come back to $70 to $80. Trump himself is saying near surrender, but the ground-level signals from Iran do not support this yet. Scenario B: prolonged war. The most likely scenario right now: no clear winner. The strait stays partially closed. Oil stays stuck between $100 and $120. Recession risk keeps growing. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to the Iraq War, which lasted 9 years. Scenario C: major escalation. The worst case: the new fronts Mojtaba mentioned in his statement they open. Houthis and Iraqi groups become more aggressive. Oil goes above $150. The world sees stagflation similar to the 1973 oil crisis. I will not give you fake comfort. Right now, scenario B is the most likely, but everything depends on one man, Mojtaba Khamenei. No video, condition unknown, $10 million on his head. Can he stop this war? Or is stopping it no longer an option for him? That question nobody can fully answer today. Every fact in this video was sourced. Every unverified claim was clearly labeled as unverified. If you found this video useful, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Comment below, write war ends if you think this can stop soon, or write oil 150 if you think this is going to get worse. See you in the next video. Until then, stay informed. Keep seeking the truth.